Welcome to another edition of AO with D. Shelton. I am the host of this podcast show, whatever you want to call it, Delrico Shelton. Please like and share and subscribe to Hey Yo with D. Shelton on Spotify, Apple, and iHeartRadio. I know, cheap plug, but please do those things, like, share, and subscribe. Also, we are sponsored by Rose Sweets LLC. That's Rose Sweets LLC, the best cupcakes and cake pops in the DMV area, small based business out of Southern Maryland. You can check them out on row_sweets_LLC on Facebook and Instagram. And once again, I'd like to thank Riverside.fm for getting this voice and sometimes this face to the masses via Spotify, Apple, and iHeartRadio. You can check them out. They have some good deals for you if you want to get in the podcasting business, such as I. How y'all feel? Yeah, I'm I'm kind of at peace. I'm gonna just go ahead and kind of get into some things. Yes, I do sports. You hear my voice in this face a lot of times dealing with sports, especially during the NFL season. And Washington Commanders fans, you should get a mini podcast from me after you play Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday night. For my Cowboy fans, you should get a mini pod from me after we get our ass whooped on Monday Night Football versus the Houston Texans. But if you listen to my last podcast, also, you know I do politics. Also. And I said in my last podcast, I'm going to kind of flip that a bit. Once again, if you've seen this face, you know I'm a black man. If you're hearing this voice, I am a black man that was born in America. You have to know the difference. If you don't know, listen to old Malcolm X speeches, and you'll figure it out. So you kind of see where I'm going. This podcast, besides sports, because that's entertainment. When I talk policy and political and things, it's going to be more black issues. So my white listeners, subscribers, and other races and nationalities, you're going to hear more black issues from me from now on. Now, there's going to be some universal things that affects everybody. I got no problem with that. I really don't. But majority of when I speak on it is from a black perspective first. Once again, when I speak on politics, policies, what's going on in the United States when it comes to us, is going to be black people first. Reason being, you know why. Deep down, you know why. As of last week, technically November 6th, as I'm recording this to you on November 13th, the 47th president has been elected. President-elect Donald J. Trump. A man who has been racist, sexist, and a criminal, has been elected for president of the United States. Even won technically the popular vote, which is the first time that's happened, I want to say, since George Bush Volume 2. So So much for solidarity. What I'm going to get into, and this might get offensive for a lot of people. At this point, as a black man in America, born, matter of fact, I was born in Richmond, Virginia. You know, the capital of the Confederate States of America. You know, the ones that succeeded from the Union to form their own country, to go to war with the North for quote unquote states' rights. And you know what those states' rights was supposed to be for? To own my ancestors. Don't get it twisted, because that's really what it was about. They lost, but history dictates and shows that Abraham Lincoln really should have punished them, but he didn't. Matter of fact, he gave a lot of their plantation owners their land back. So in a sense, it started as reparations for them already. We have been through so much in this 400 years of being in this country, to the point that, dare I say, black people probably love this country more than white people. Dare I said the quiet power, part out loud. Why you say that, Rico? Just look at the history. Black women are the key to holding democracy in America. And it's been that way since we, as black people, were allowed to vote with the Voting Act in the 60s and the Civil Rights era in the 60s. So let me explain something to white people. The 1960s, the year is 2024. So basically, a lifespan of somebody. That's not that long ago. There are people right now, our grandparents, who were alive when they had no civil rights. And you voted for a man that's going to really set this country back. You can't mention God in anything. You have no more high ground. You elected a 34 count felon who has been liable and guilty of sexual assault. Remember, he's still in on the Epstein files. He's a habitual liar. He is a cheat. He's cheated on every last one of his wives with the new wife, including cheating on his latest wife with a porn star. A female that indulges in adult entertainment. If I want to be more specific to help you all with understanding. Have you seen Melania's face? She's not happy, but more than likely she got to stay. Mainly because she wants to keep a certain lifestyle. The man is in cognitive decline, but y'all don't care. This is November 6th, number 5, technically, is going to go down, I promise you, as one of the worst days in American history. But Trump won. Was it more on in the libs? I'm going to say this once again. Me personally, I'm a centrist. I'm fiscally, conservative, but socially liberal. I'm about my money. I would love to have lower taxes. But I also know, and common sense wise, to leave people the fuck alone. Let them live their life as long as they're not harming anybody. Mind your damn business, as Tim Walsh would say. It's the truth. Kamala Harris, by all rights, should be president of the United States, president-elect, But the country chose that man. Now, if that man was black, you bury him under the train, under the bus. You throw him underneath the jail. Nah, because he's an old, rich, powerful white man. You cool with it. It shows your whiteness, your I hate saying it, but it shows that you really are cool with white supremacy. Because you don't want to move the country forward. You want it just to be okay enough for you to see that everything is okay because someone's white is running it. And it's been this way. Black people know it. The glitch in the matrix was President Barack Obama, who goes down to history as one of the best presidents. But then whitewashing and white fear and white rage got Donald Trump in. One of the worst of you. But Trump won. And now through the internet, TikTok. Oh, by the way, if you want to follow me on TikTok, because I do most of my internet content on TikTok, Hey Yo with D Shelton. The profile, when you look up me and Spotify and others, is the same on TikTok. Just FYI. This here is crazy because, honestly speaking, we're tired. As a matter of fact, I'm about to go off screen for a sec. If you saw my face and I left and you didn't hear anything since you're listening, that's kind of a symbolic way of saying us black people, we out. There's no solidarity in this country because black women told you what was going to happen. But you didn't want to listen. 92 to 93% of black women voted for Kamala Harris to save democracy. Basically, 80% of black men, regardless of how the media wanted to portray black men are leaving the Democratic Party. Did it really happen? Nope. We voted for Kamala Harris. We wanted to get the sister in because we knew what's about to happen. We knew it. So black people as a whole, 86% voted for Kamala Harris. There goes that myth that black people are leaving the Democratic Party. That Democratic plantation. Let me explain something to y'all. We know there's racists in the Democratic Party, but we also know that this party has been the main one since the 60s, once again, to fight for our rights. We know a lot of times they use us for the vote for other things. We know. But we know the Republican side don't fight for us for nothing. We know. But we voted almost overwhelmingly to save democracy, to hold the standard of what this country is supposed to be. But you all keep fucking it up because you can't get past your racism, your sexism, your misogyny, your xenophobic, your transphobia, and any other phobia you want to add. You just can't get by it because it's not white. Once again, you have elected a criminal. Congratulations, you have made the United States once again the laughingstock of the world. They're already saying in Scotland, one of the parliament people, you can look it up, saying criminal Donald Trump. But Trump won. He's about to destroy everything. And you know who's going to be affected the most? It's going to be my people. But here's the difference between my people and everybody else. We've been dealing with this shit for over 400 years. So we know how to adjust. Do you? Let me do some rundown for you what's about to happen. Just basic shit. The EPA, you know, the ones that pretty much helps with keeping your water clean. So when you just so for content, when you cut on your faucet and the little thing that's clear called water starts trickling down and it's clear, it might not be clear anymore. Matter of fact, it might taste funny. He's going to gut the EPA. When you go outside into that quote unquote fresh air and it's a little smoggy, yeah, he's gutting that. He said he wants to get rid of the Department of Education. If I recall, it was started by Jimmy Carter. Another beautiful president that was hosed because of a gas crisis, because white people needed their gas. And then Reaganomics came in and fucked the country up. That still affects us today. You know, trickle down economics. How'd that work out? Y'all still buying that bullshit. But Trump won. Speaking of the economy, do y'all know what a tariff is? I'm expecting you do now, since after the election, it was the number one Google search thing in red states. So when black women in particular, black men follow suit, and economists and other people that do this shit for a living warned you, you went for the guy thinking that you know more than they do when they do it for a living. Do you know how stupid that is? Or the term I like to use, low intelligent. That is. But Trump won. For once, I'm kind of glad, but I'll get into that a little bit later. But once again, for y'all that don't understand what a tariff is, it's for goods that are imported from another country. Let's say China. A lot of y'all dumbasses thought that China pays for that. No. How I know? I worked for a company that dealt with this shit on a daily basis. When it hits the port, or through the air, the company that wanted said product pays for that. And now that that shit's gonna raise, guess who the cost? Who's gonna deal with that cost? You and me. So just for educational purposes, let's say a t-shirt that you purchase, even though it doesn't cost this, let's say it's $1. After the company pays that tariff and sells it to you, instead of it being $1, it may be $1.20. But Trump won. Since you all are so gung-ho, and I'm speaking directly also to Trump, Latinos for Trump for this one, because you fucked yourself on this. Let me explain how this shit's going to work for the quote-unquote mass deportation. For every 1 million that undocumented illegal immigrants get deported, it's going to cost the U.S., you and me, $88 billion. Billion with a B, like boy. So let's say Trump stays in office 4 years. That's $352 billion with a B. Let me do some more basic math for you. Because Trump won. Undocumented and illegal immigrants, they do pay taxes when they get a check. You know, your Social Security, by the way, they're coming for that. Your Medicare, Medicaid, FICA, all that good shit. They put in $100 million per year of money they will never see. So let's add that $100 million times 4. So that's $400 million that the United States of America lost. But Trump won. And it's going to cost, once again, $352 billion would it be. You know what a billion is? It's more than a million, you dumb motherfuckers. So you know what happens after that? Instant recession to possible Great Depression 2.0. Do you understand the dumb shit y'all just put the country in? Here's something that you all don't know or probably too dumb to understand. White people, you use more government incentives than any other demographic in the country. I know you still think that shit what Ronald Reagan said that, you know, the welfare queen and blasted a black woman through it. It was you all that used it more, particularly single white women. They're coming for that. So if you're in a red state that's poor, and traditionally those red states are poor, as a matter of fact, the only two that technically have a surplus is Texas and Florida. And Florida gets their money from tourism. You know what's about to happen in Florida? People ain't gonna come. You know what? Texas is oil. And as for oil, the United States produced more oil under Biden than any other time in U.S. history, including your man, Donald Trump. So the United States is more energy efficient than any other country in the world. But Trump won. Latinos for Trump. When they round you up and we're not there to help you, to march for you, don't get mad. You showed your ass. Because here's something you all don't understand. I'm going to give you two things. Remember the word undocumented. That's a powerful word. Very powerful. Because you pay taxes in the system, they know where you are. Yeah, they know where you are. Look up denaturalization because they're coming for that. If your mother wasn't born in the United States, they're coming for you. And here's the other key thing about the word undocumented. Because you swore they're going to take out the criminals. You're the criminal. Because undocumented for them means technically illegal. So you broke the law. But Trump won. So they're coming for you. Or it's not just Latinos. That's the Asian community too. You know, Filipino, Thailand. They're coming. See, I know this shit offhand because, and I'm probably certain she's probably going to listen to this because I know you voted for that motherfucker. I'm not going to reveal your name, but I can tell you put someone that I loved seed in danger because of it. Because you're not a naturally born citizen. That's just for an example. But Trump won. So this hits me personally. And before anyone tries to look it up, don't worry. You're not going to find the person. But I'm just giving that an example of something personal to me. What women, particularly white women, do you realize what you all have done? Basically, you have given the government control of your body. Unless you're in a blue state. And the blue states right now, the pure blue states are pretty much right now trying to make their states Trump proof before he gets inaugurated on January 20th. So let me explain how this is going to work for you all. There's a thing in Project 2025 called no fault divorce, which means when you marry that man, you can't get divorced for shit. So if he abused you, oh well, can't divorce him. He abused your kids, oh well, can't divorce him. He commits sexual assault against your kids because that's what you voted for, since you actually voted for a dude that committed sexual assault. You can't divorce him. And as for your body, let's say you get pregnant. Let's say you wanted a pregnancy. Cool. But there's complications that could actually kill you during that pregnancy. Because you live in one of these states, doctor won't see you because they're fearful of going to jail themselves. So you're going to bleed out. Or if you're one of the lucky ones, you may not be able to have kids again because it damaged your inside so much. They're coming for your contraceptives too. Clarence Thomas said so, and you know he's a Supreme Court judge. But Trump won. And you know who actually does abortion more? Oh, you know, Fox News and Newsmax and all that will swear it was black women. No, it's you. You do more abortions than anybody else. Shocker. Blacks for Trump. You're about to be ostracized because you voted for that man. Question. When has America been great for black people? Give me what time period? Since y'all put that red hat on, have y'all also noticed, those that are listening to me that are cool, that when someone puts that hat on, their demeanor instantly changes to something evil? It's a symbol. But I digress. Because of your choice of voting for that man, there are kids, college students too, young kids that are getting text messages saying that people are going to pick them up and get ready to go to this plantation or that plantation. That's what you voted for, because you swear he's not racist and he doesn't have racist people around him. But Trump won. Some of you are already finding out that MAGA, the GOP Republicans of that ilk, because they all one and the same to me. The ones that didn't want Donald Trump, I consider them more centrist, like Liz Cheney, for example. You have put people in danger, and they already ostracized you already. We just wanted your vote. They never wanted you. What was the young gentleman, the black gentleman that came to a Trump rally and got his ass whooped? And he was for Donald Trump. But you don't see that, right? You are the people that, I'm be honest, when Harriet Tubman was conducted the Underground Railroad, you realize the part that they don't really tell too many people in history, but so you kind of have to dig a little bit. She had a big ass gun for protection. But the other part of it is, if a slave wanted to go back, she would give them a choice. Either you're going to come to freedom or you're going to meet your maker. Because you will not tell anybody how we are conducting the Underground Railroad. Let's just say I'm quite sure there's a lot of people that never made it up north and went back to master. You are the kind of guys that Harriet Tubman would have shot. Surprising I said that. Because Trump won. And you all are wondering why. Oh, let me go back to white women. Stop being performative. That blue bracelet shit that y'all trying to do, we're one of the good ones. No, no, stop. We don't care. A lot of you went to Kamala Harris's rallies, got a good feeling, and went back into that booth and voted for that man. I'm going to paraphrase something that the great Muhammad Ali said. If there's 10,000 snakes at the door and only 1,000 of them didn't want to bite me or harm me, but I don't know which is which because all of them look alike, should I let the 10,000 in hopes that the 1,000 of them wrap a circle around me to protect me and not bite me? Or should I just shut the door? Yeah. But Trump won. So that blue bracelet of solidarity, you're also putting yourself in danger because remember, he's stated, and his nuts, his MAGA nuts, that said if they find out that someone voted for Kamala Harris, they might do bodily harm to that person. That shows your privilege already. Now, what about meism? Because you putting yourself in danger too. Like I said, instead of you going to your community and having the hard conversations that you should have had decades ago. Hey, white women, another thing. Your gay son lesbian daughter, trans kids, you put them in danger too because they won't get the health care that they need. But Trump won. We're tired. Black people are generally tired. So we have the right to say, fuck it, we out for 4 years. Except in blue states where we know we got to show our face to make sure this shit runs smooth in these states. But other than that, this is what y'all wanted. This is really what y'all wanted. So we're going to give you what you want. Maybe it's a good thing. Because it shows how low intelligence this country really is. Oh, speaking of intelligence, I'm glad I mentioned that because I almost forgot. He wants to get rid of the Department of Education. I remember because I was saying about Jimmy Carter since he created it. So when little Jenny, when you ask her what's 2 plus 2, and she says orange, but she can recite the Bible verses backwards and forwards, it's your fault. And speaking of the church, this is why I left. I was born Baptist. I went to Sunday school until one day I told my grandma, I'm the greatest woman alive that I've ever known. Grandma, I want to go back. I maybe was, 7? And the little bus, they usually pick me up. She said, he's not going anymore. She gave me a choice. And I'm glad she did. Because these white evangelicals, pastors, priests, they've been telling y'all lies or help misinterpret the Bible to you all. I'm going to break something common sense to you all. Remember, God said he made everybody in his own image. If God is all-knowing and all-powerful, and he knows what you're going to do before you do it, even though he gave you willpower, that means he knows when he made this person was gay. This person is bisexual. This person is a trans person. This person is non-binary. They're pansexual. They're asexual. Etc., etc. Don't you think if he made them, he made them in his own image? Have y'all thought about that? But Trump won. The good old story of Sodom and Gomorrah. I would need y'all to read that again. He didn't destroy those 2 cities because they were gay. Read it again and why. He destroyed them because they were wicked. Once again, he destroyed the cities because they were wicked. Don't you think, common sense wise, that the people that left, maybe 1 or 2 were gay? But Trump won. Or just maybe there were innocent people in those cities, but they decided to stay. You see how it got misinterpreted to you all already? And I'm just breaking down logic. I can hear it now. Rico, you don't believe in God. Yes, I do. I believe differently. Because it's common sense. Everything that was created has to have a creator, excuse me. That's just common sense. If Jesus came down right now, you know Jesus was an illegal immigrant. You know that, right? So if he came today with hair of wool, skin of bronze, ain't that blue-eyed, long-haired, blonde motherfucker that y'all put in your stuff, you all will try to either deport or harm him. Part of me thinks that this is something that Father wanted because he said, okay, be careful what you wish for. Just might give it to you. Part of me thinks that's what he is. He said he's tired of y'all dumbness. So I'm going to give y'all what y'all want. And when Donald Trump basically destroys this country, particularly you, don't holler at black people for nothing. Because these sets of people know what to do. We're already preparing for the bullshit. But Trump won. Now, here's the other thing. You don't want, and I'm speaking of racists, you don't want black people here, but you wonder what black people are always doing. Why? So it's online is a big stink that black women say we out and black men say we out. We're divorcing America for the next 4 years. You can have the kids. You know, white women, Latinos for Trump, black for Trump. You can have the kids. Yeah, you can have the house. You know, your Arkansas, your Alabamas, your Ohio's, your South Carolinas, your Iowas, your Kentuckies and Tennessees. Okay. We'll pay child support, which is our taxes. We'll show up from time to time because we play sports and things, so you'll see us. We're not coming to cookouts. We're not coming to family reunions, except, this is California's, the New York States, Maryland. You see what I'm getting at? Don't call us for shit. We're not marching. So what? I want to say in Chicago already they marched. I barely saw any black people. Rumor has it they're going to march or do something during the inauguration. You might see a couple black people there, but if it ain't got nothing to do with black people directly, leave us the fuck alone. We tried to warn you with this shit, so you're going to get what you want. The pro-Palestinian movement. How's this working? How's it working for you all now? Netanyahu's about to finish the job Donald Trump told him to do. Why? Because you didn't want to vote for a woman. Oh, but by the way, where's Jill Stein at? She ain't nowhere to be found, is she? You ain't see nothing online. You ain't see her speech. Where's her lives at? You got played. Because Trump won. The woman that wanted a ceasefire, Kamala Harris, say her name, wanted a ceasefire since January. But because she's a part of the Biden administration, by the way, again, vice president has no real power. Their main power, break ties in the Senate, which the Republicans have. So let me kind of break down some appointees that Donald Trump has already pretty much said he's going to do. Okay? Let's see. Susie Wiles, White House Chief of Staff. I'm going to read certain things. This is all courtesy of MSNBC.com. Okay? Here's a running list of people that's going to serve as administration. Wiles, who worked for all of 3 of Trump's presidential campaigns, will be the first woman to hold the position in the Oval Office, but is a notoriously challenging role under Trump, who cycled through 4 chiefs of staff in his first term. Wiles, the 67-year-old daughter of the late NFL legend Pat Summitt is the only campaign manager to have lasted the entire Trump campaign. In other words, she helped lie to y'all motherfuckers. Stephen Miller, deputy of the White House Chief of Staff for Policy. Again, through MSNBC. The president-elect is expected to announce Miller as his deputy chief of staff for policy, which would likely task an immigration hardliner to the job of implementing Trump's mass deportation plan. Trump's team did not immediately respond to NBC News' request for confirmation, but Vice President-elect J.D. Vance appeared to confirm CNN's reporting of the news in a post on X Monday. Miller will serve as senior White House advisor served as a senior White House advisor in the first Trump administration. He is widely considered one of the chief architects of the first Trump administration's Muslim travel ban, which sought to restrict the U.S. travel and immigration from several countries with large Muslim populations. High Arab community, Muslim community, pro-Palestine. Another one, Mike Waltz, National Security Advisor, a Florida Republican who is a Trump loyalist who has echoed Trump's complaint about woke military. He is a member of the House Armed Service Intelligence and Foreign Affairs Committee. He also served in the Defense Department during the George W. Bush administration and was a counterterrorism advisor to then Vice President Dick Cheney. Waltz is widely seen as hawkish on China, a member of the House China Task Force. He has argued that the United States is not sufficiently prepared for a conflict in the Indo-Pacific region. In other words, he's a shit starter. But Trump won. Tom Harman, border czar. Oh, you're going to love him. Harman, a former acting director of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement under Trump, he will play a major role in carrying out the president-elect's hardline immigration agenda. Trump has repeatedly said on the campaign trail that he would enact the largest deportation program in American history, a plan that will pose monumental logistical, financial, and personal challenge. Trump told NBC News last week that there will be no price tag on mass deportation plan. Earlier this year, Harman said if Trump wins the election, he'd be on Trump's heels and run the biggest deportation operation this country has ever seen. Speaking of Fox News on Sunday, Harman, who was significantly involved in the first Trump administration's family separation policy, said ICE will implement Trump's deportation program in a humane manner. High Latinos for Trump, Muslim community, pro-Palestine. But Trump won. Lee Zeldin, Environmental Protection Agency Administrator. Once again, all through MSNBC.com. In a statement released on November 11th, he said he will appoint Zeldin as his a New York Republican to lead the EPA. He will ensure fair and swift deregulation decisions that will be enacted in a way to unleash the powerful American businesses, while at the same time maintain the highest environmental standards, including the cleanest air and water on the planet, Trump said in a statement. The president-elect has vowed to roll back Joe Biden's climate regulation policies, and he will withdraw the U.S. from the Paris Agreement. Zeldin has little experience with environmental regulation, but has similarly criticized Biden's climate policies and voted against the Paris Agreement in the House, excuse me. In other words, get ready to fuck up your air and your clean water. And climate changes. But Trump won. Elise Stefanik, U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Oh, this is going to be fun. Stefanik, one of Trump's staunchest allies, will be nominated for the United Nations ambassador. As my colleague Hayes Brown has pointed out, the New York Republican has little diplomatic experience other than her vocal support for Israel in Congress, and she has also criticized the UN over organizations opposed to Israel's brutal military campaign in Gaza Strip. Hi, pro-Palestine people. Do you see how you fucked up? But Trump won. Mike Huckabee, U.S. Ambassador to Israel. Oh, pro-Palestine, y'all gonna love this one. Trump announced Tuesday that he will appoint Huckabee, the former governor of Arkansas, as ambassador to Israel. He loved Israel and the people of Israel, and likewise the people of Israel love him, Trump said in a statement. Mike will work tirelessly to bring peace about the Middle East. Huckabee has been a vocal defender of Israel's war on Hamas. He has also advocated against a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, saying that Israel should eradicate them. Hi, pro-Palestine. You see where I'm going? Because Trump won. Steve Witkoff, special envoy to the Middle East. Steve is a highly respected leader in business and philanthropy who has made every project and community has been involved with a stronger and more prosperous, Trump said in a statement announcing his selection. Oh, for context, Witkoff is a New York real estate investor and golf buddy to Donald Trump. Notice, no experience. Witkoff, who is Jewish, helped recruit the pro-Israel donors to Trump's campaign. I personally received and helped to secure large Jewish donors, he told Bulwark in May, and adding, I'm not talking 4-figure donations. I'm talking 6-figure and 7-figure donations. He is also the co-chair of Trump's inaugural committee alongside former Senator Kelly Loeffler of Georgia. John Ratcliffe, CIA director. Oh, this is about to be fun. Trump tapped Ratcliffe, who served as the director of national intelligence during the first term, to serve as head of the CIA in his second administration. Critics accused Ratcliffe, a former congressman from Texas, of politicizing national intelligence during his time as the DNI. He is currently the co-chair of the Center of American Security at the Trump-aligned group America First Policy Institute. In other words, you gave this man power to pretty much fuck up everything. But Trump won. Let me give you one more. And this right here, and you wonder why black people are going? Here we go. Pete Hegseth, Defense Secretary. Trump nominated Hegseth, a Fox News host an Army veteran to lead the Defense Department. With Pete at the helm, America's enemies are on notice. Our military will be great again, and America will never back down, Trump said in a statement. And he continued, no one fights harder for the troops, and Pete will be courageous and patriotic champion of peace through strength policy. The 44-year-old Minnesota native has falsely claimed that Democrats created variants of the COVID virus for political purposes. A Fox News host is now going to be, once again, Defense Secretary. Kristi Noem, Homeland Security Secretary. Trump plans to nominate Noem, South Dakota's Republican governor, to lead the Department of Homeland Security. As NBC News reported, the 50-year-old former Congresswoman has no significant experience with Homeland Security issues, but has voiced support of Trump's hardline immigration policies. Oh, if you must know, majority of these people don't need Senate approval. So therefore, he's really draining the swamp. But Trump won. You see how fucked up this is about to be for 4 years? And you wonder why black people are saying, we out. Hey, Latinos with Trump, you cool now? Hey, pro-Palestine people, you cool now? They don't want you here. They got no choice but to deal with us since we've been here. We've been through slavery. We've been through Reconstruction. We've been there through Jim Crow. We've been through Civil Rights era to today. Damn it, we know them better than they know themselves. Do you? So you fucked up. And now you wondering why we don't want to coincide with you all right now? And the quote-unquote reverse racism that a lot of y'all MAGA nuts and white people and everybody else saying, well, black people are now segregating themselves. Ain't that racist? No. Because we warned you. We're taking care of each other. We're in the process of it. Because that's all we got. 54% of Latino men voted for that man. 53% of white women voted for that man. 45% of other races voted for that man, including, for some reason, a large contingency of Native Americans. Make that make sense. Oh, by the way, as a minor note that just came out, he's going to propose that if there's, was it equality or equity, whatever, against colleges that practices pretty much DEI. And they're going to tax and possibly sue for the college's endowments if basically white men don't get in. So white men are going to get reparations. Ain't that about a bitch? Far be it that a white man who's not qualified to do the job gets hired over white women, people of color, black women, and black men. Because as far as I'm concerned, we're not people of color. Black people are not people of color. We're black. Everybody else is people of color at this point. Because statistics show you voted for that man. Because Trump won. For the next 4 years, this is about to be a shit show. And black people, black men and women, we're going to eat popcorn. We're going to eat candy, chips, Doritos, whatever. We're going to live our lives, whether it be on the beach, whether it be nature. Some of us are going to crochet. Some of us are going to garden. Pretty much, we're just going to mind our black ass business. And when you come, because you will, for help, nope, that's what you wanted. See, once again, you elected a criminal. You elected a 34 count felon who is liable and guilty of sexual assault, who is a habitual liar, who is a cheat because he cheated on us, like I said, all of his wives, including the latest one with a person from the adult industry, who he paid hush money to be quiet about, and quiet as kept tried to do it again during his campaign. A man who's busted up unions and refused to pay people that built his buildings. You all wanted to be him, right? You wanted to be him, a man that can do whatever he wants. And now that he has unchecked power thanks to the corrupt Supreme Court, and more than likely he's going to get the House of Representatives by a thin margin. The only thing that might save this shit is the filibuster right now in the Senate. Since they need basically 60 votes to kind of get some shit through. But when it comes to federal judges and soon to be Supreme Court judges, you're probably going to get hard right-wing people. But Trump won. And y'all really wonder why black people say we out? Really? You got no one to blame but yourself. So, in my closing, once again, when I do politics, it's going to be mostly black issues. Until then, and I can't speak for all black people. I'm going to do on this one. For 4 years, leave us the fuck alone. We can't be involved with solidarity at this point because you've shown us who you are. And the definition of insanity is doing the same shit over and over again and hoping for a different result, a different outcome, a different situation to happen. No. We have told you forever. So we're going to let you destroy yourself on this one. Like I said, it might have been a good thing because this situation has brought black people together like no other time in modern history except in the civil rights era. Oh, one other thing, Asian people, affirmative action actually helped white women more than anybody else, not black people. Just a thought. Yo, Asians, Latinos for Trump, sons, so on and so forth. Yo, trying to get close, to whiteness showed. We hope you get everything that you voted for. Because for the next 4 years, we out. Now, I'd like to thank Rose Sweets LLC. Once again, Rose Sweets LLC for the best cake pops and cupcakes in the DMV area. Small based business out of Southern Maryland. You can reach them and see their products at row_sweets_LLC on Facebook and Instagram. You can also reach out to them at rosesweetsllc@gmail.com. I like to thank Riverside.fm for giving me the platform for this voice and this face to come through and show y'all what the hell's going on through Spotify, Apple, and iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcast from. Please like and share and subscribe to Hey Yo with D Shelton. Like I said, like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. So this voice and this face can get out to the masses. To my brothers and sisters, don't worry about it. We've been through worse. But they're going to see how this shit really is without us. It's cool. It's time probably for us to take care of each other anyway. And no, that's not racist to anybody else. Just sometimes you got to sit back and, you know what? I got to work on me. That's what we're doing right now as black people. We don't hate y'all. Most times we love y'all. But sometimes you got to sit back and we got to take care of us. We're looking at the me. We can't look at the you. We got to look at the me. We need healing. We need time to decompress. So for the next 4 years, let us decompress. All right? Hashtag still, we out. And now that I'm out, as I always tell you all, may Father and the ancestors take care of you, your loved ones, and anybody else you care about. I see y'all when I see y'all. Love y'all. Peace.